Hello, my name is Anthony and this is the CB Rider Gaming channel. Today I thought I would take a look at the demo that was released by 343 Industries a couple of weeks ago. It was an 8-minute gameplay demo for the upcoming Halo Infinite title. It should be releasing in a few months when the Xbox Series X releases. But back to the demo, when that released, it was pretty divisive with everybody in the community. A lot of people really had problems with it because it didn't look like what they expected a Halo title to look like, and also it didn't quite have the graphics they were expecting. So I thought I would just deep dive into what the problems were with the demo and what I think is good about it and where I think the series is going. The first thing we're going to notice is there's a ton of pop in here after transitioning out of this menu, and it happens everywhere on everything you can see on screen. And then take a look at the back left here as we're going over this jump. You're going to see the trees floating in the air, and then all of a sudden, pop pop, there's the mountains. And one thing I don't think I agree with is a lot of people are saying this looks like a 360 title and it should be a last gen. We'll dispute that a little more in the next section here. But if you do look at the Grunt and the Elite's armor, you will see they look a little one-toned, one-dimensional, and they got kind of a cartoony look to them. I think that's just part of the art style. So all of the other issues, though, I think we still have 4 months left in development. So I think there's plenty of time to fix all the other stuff we're talking about. In the next section, though, I think we'll take a look at the older titles and just kind of go over, why I disagree with some of the claims about it looking last gen. Alright, these first titles are Halo 3 and Halo Reach, and it's very clear that the skins and the textures on the enemies are not even close to what we have in Infinite, and the shapes of their hands and fists really are just kind of wonky. They're not very geometrically pleasing. But as we move up here to 4 and 5, it looks like they are probably close to on par with what we got in Infinite. It's really hard to tell, though, because they're very different art styles. In 4 and 5 we had more of a gritty, realistic look. They were going kind of for some photorealism. So it's just really hard to tell. I think you can tell a little bit more here when you're looking at the Grunt versus the Grunt, though, that it really is just a different in art style. And again, when we look at this Warthog here, you're going to see the metal looks a little more realistic on Halo 5 on the left, and Infinite, it looks almost like a Pixar movie. But moving on from here, I think we'll look at what's good about the trailer, and it should be the end of the video after that. Alright, pay attention to the Warthog and how the wheels dig little trenches out in the dirt, and it looks like maybe the harder earth there, it kind of stops digging out, and then the front wheels are going through softer dirt again, so we get more trenches. That's a very good attention to detail, and it happens multiple times throughout this trailer. And then once we go over the jump here, pay attention to the way the light disperses from that plasma bolt, as well as the plasma itself. It has what looks to me to be some pretty good fluid dynamics. Think of like a water balloon hitting something and the way the water disperses. It has that same kind of look to it. Now you'll notice the reflection from the sun at the pool here. We're looking directly at it, so it's more realistic, reflecting up at us from straight ahead opposed to off to the right. And then right here, look at like the particle details and the plumes of gas and smoke when you shoot the grunts here. At least to me, it looks like it handles like real smoke. So I think overall they paid a lot of attention to detail with this game. And that's one thing I think people kind of forget, is that next gen isn't just about graphics. There's a lot more that comes along with just the computers that we have now. It's computationally able to do a lot more for us. And look here, as the Brute, he's going to be running, he gets shot in the leg, and then he trips. So that's something that we never had before. So there's a lot of little stuff like that. Same with his armor. Look at the way it sparks and the way each individual piece breaks off. That is another thing that we haven't had in Halo games. And again, right here, we're going to look at the smoke. Watch as it trails behind this Grunt. You're going to see the light disperse realistically through it, and then at the back it's going up through the sky, and it's trailing the grunt very real. All right, a couple last little things we're going to look at here. Look at the grunt as he steps down, the mud shoots out. That's pretty cool little detail there. And then the light, it disperses differently off the gun in Master Chief's hand. Same with these guys, as they get shot, they shoot the ground and we get a realistic plume of dust from it. And then one last thing is just look at this grenade after he shoots him. So once it hits the ground, it's going to explode, and we're going to see a very different reaction from the gun and the grunt as they get thrown away from the explosion. So I think they took physics very seriously in this game. So I think we're going to see a lot of really cool physics effects, and I can't wait to get in and see what else we can find. And then this last section, I think we're going to talk about what was missing from this trailer, and then that'll be it. Alright, the question I posited at the end of that last section, what is missing from the Halo Infinite demo? That is ray tracing. We got a confirmation from 343 Industries that they are going to be putting it into the game, and it should be sometime right after launch. So I think that's going to do wonders for the graphics. These clips I've put here, they show what the difference is on a lot of games that we have from this last gen and what the difference ray tracing made for them. So I just want you to think about that after you watch these clips. Just think about what could that do for Halo Infinite. Also, the ray tracing they did on these games was obviously this generation, so I think we're gonna have a lot more computational power on the next consoles. So I think there's gonna be a lot more they're able to do, and probably do it with less strain on the CPU and the GPU. So anyway, with that, I think that's the end of my video, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch it. If you liked it, leave a like, maybe leave a comment, and have a nice day.